Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Brothers and sisters, I want to appeal to you on behalf of my brothers and sisters and your brothers and sisters in Somalia and the neighboring regions in the east of Africa who are dying due to a lack of water. I want to mention to you 4 reasons why it is in your best interest to donate and help and support your beloved brothers and sisters at this time of need for them. The first reason, my brothers and sisters, is because by donating to them whilst you are living here in the UK or other parts of the world, you can demonstrate ikhlas. Ikhlas means sincerity in terms of your intention. This is important, brothers and sisters, because Allah told us, وَمَا أُمِرُوا إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. Allah said that He didn't command us to do any worship except that worship is purely, sincerely for the sake of Allah, with ikhlas. But in this day and age, with social media, with everyone watching, it's so hard to be sincere. Sisters sometimes wear hijab. Are they doing it for Allah? Are they doing it for fashion? Are they doing it to please someone? Of course, not all. Many of you are doing it for the sake of Allah. But I'm just saying it's become so difficult to be sincere with all of these other trials and tribulations. Men are going to the masjid and praying. Are you going for Allah? Are you going to be with your friends? Are you going to show off so that people can say this guy is in the front row of the prayer? It's hard. It's very hard. But by you donating online to a people that you do not know, in a way that no one can see except for Allah, that is inshallah a sign of your sincerity. They will not be able to give you thanks because you do not know them. It cannot be said that you have some emotional attachment and you're giving them money because of your relationship with them. And because no one can see you, only Allah can see you, it means it must, inshallah, be only and purely for the sake of Allah. What a surefire way to accumulate some amazing rewards from Allah and worship Allah the way He deserves to be worshipped, with sincerity. And that is the essence of La ilaha illallah. The second reason, brothers and sisters, why you should donate to them is because it is following the sunnah of the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam. Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma narrated that the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam ajwadun nas. He was the most generous. Ajwad, it means the most generous of all of the humans. He used to give and give and give, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We all want to follow the sunnah of the Prophet, so we grow the beard and the trousers above our ankles, and we have the miswak that we use, and we do miswak to our teeth, and we try to follow the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam's sunnah. We call to the sunnah and we speak against bid'ah, which is in opposition to sunnah. But we have to understand that there are other sunnahs of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam that we sometimes neglect because they are more about the interior than the exterior. For example, the characteristic of generosity. We give money, yes we do. But we give sometimes that which is in accordance to our convenience. The Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam would give to his inconvenience, to the extent where Aisha radiyallahu anha told us that 3 months went by and a fire wasn't lit in the Prophet's house, meaning nothing was cooked. 3 months nothing was cooked in the house because of the lack of money that he sallallahu alayhi wasallam had. So my beloved brothers and sisters, I call you to be one who not only is worshipping Allah with sincerity, but following the sunnah of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam by acquiring this characteristic of generosity, and through that donating to your brothers and sisters. And these 2 characteristics, my brothers and sisters, sincerity and following the sunnah, are the 2 pillars upon which every action must be done. If you do an action that's lacking sincerity, and or it's lacking sunnah, then it's never going to be accepted. It must have both. But by you donating with ikhlas, inshallah, wanting to be like the Prophet ﷺ on his sunnah, that is a surefire way for this to be accepted. And how much are we in need, my brothers and sisters, of our actions being accepted from Allah? The third reason why I urge you to donate is because giving this money and giving water, rather, which this money is going to be used for water, giving water as a charity is a way to get Jannah. Where am I getting this from? We all know the famous incident that the Prophet ﷺ told us about a woman who was a prostitute. She was a filthy prostitute. She was a filthy woman. But one occasion, she saw a dog, and the dog was thirsty. So she took off her shoe and she gathered water in her shoe. Then she gave it to the dog to drink. Because of that one action that she did, Allahu A'lam with how much sincerity must have been in that action. And it was the giving of the water to the dog. But because of that, Allah accepted her into Jannah. Now pay attention. If a prostitute is getting Jannah because she's giving water to a dog, then what about a believer like yourself, inshallah, who is far from such a filthy act, giving charity to not a dog, but an honorable, noble creation of Allah, which is the human being. The son of Adam, as Allah said, has been honored much more than a dog. You're giving to that noble creation of Allah. Is that not, inshallah ta'ala, a way to get Jannah for us? The fourth reason and the final reason that I will mention, even though there are many, my brothers and sisters, is because this charity that you give is going to benefit you more than it's going to benefit those who are dying of thirst. You might ask, how? How is me giving this money going to benefit me more than the one who's dying? Surely they are more in need. And the reality is, no, they are not more in need. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Fajr tells us about a group of people who are stingy with their money. They love wealth, they compile wealth, they don't feed the poor. They don't come together to take care of the miskeen, and they don't honor the yatim. Allah tells us these people, they will see Jahannam on the Day of Judgment. Hellfire will be brought before them. And when they see it, they will say, يَقُولُ يَا لَيْتَنِي قَدَّمْتُ لِحَيَاتِي. They will say, regretting, lamenting, if only we had sent forth and invested and sent something forward and put something forward for this life. Which life are they talking about? The real life, the next life, not this worldly life. They will say, if only we invested in this life, if only we sent something forward, meaning if only we did good deeds, if only we used that money. We were too busy piling that money in this world, investing it in this world. In this dunya, we were too busy investing in that. But on that day, they realized that investment was worth nothing. If only we invested in this life right here, in this akhirah, the Day of Judgment life. But that's going to be too late. That's why Allah said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, O you who believe, anfiqu, give mimma razaqnakum, from that which you have been provided. Give from that which you have been provided before a day comes to you in which there is no transactions. You're not going to be able to use that money. You're not going to be able to use that money to buy your way out. There's going to be no friends. وَلَا شَفَاعَةً. And there's going to be no one who's going to stand in front of Allah and say, Allah, I'm looking out for this person. I'm interceding on behalf of this person. Let this person be. No one's going to come to your aid. Nothing, not your money, not your friends, no one. But we will come to your aid, inshallah. What will, inshallah, save you from Jahannam is if you, inshallah ta'ala, come with charity and righteous actions in this life before you die. In summary, my brothers and sisters, we have learnt that every action must have sincerity, it must have tawheed, and it must also have sunnah. And by you donating today, inshallah, you can come with ikhlas and you can come with sunnah that you may struggle to come with at other times. And both of these two actions, inshallah, are a way for Jannah. Specifically, we mentioned when it comes to giving water because of the prostitute who gave water. And then we also mentioned that money, not only is it a way to get Jannah, but it's also a way to divert yourself from the hellfire, or rather for Allah to divert hellfire from you, inshallah. So my brothers and sisters, without any further ado, I call upon you to donate generously. We're trying to raise £100,000 online for our brothers and sisters. Can you imagine dying of thirst? Wallahi, someone being killed and shot is tragic. And that's always a cause that we're always going to stand up for and defend our brothers and sisters who are being massacred. But just think of dying due to thirst. Like your body gives in, you lose all energy, just lying there on the ground. Can't move, slowly your throat dries up, your veins tighten up, your tongue becomes parched, your body shrivels up, slowly waiting, trying to grasp every breath, and then suddenly you die. The situation is so bad that a mother in that region of Somalia and the neighboring regions is having to look at her children and pick which one she's going to let die. She's got 4 or 5 kids, but not enough water to give all of them. Can you imagine a mother having to pick which of my children am I going to give this water to? Because all of them can't have it. So she has to pick which one and let one of them die. Be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah mentioned that in shakartum la'azidannakum. It's actually another reason you should donate. You give, be grateful, Allah will increase you. Because Allah has blessed you with this water that runs through our pipes like ease, but water that you're not receiving. Please go now, inshallah ta'ala, to the link in the more information section of the video. The brothers who are raising this money are brothers who are trusted to myself. It's basically 3 or 4 masajid in West London: Masjid al-Furqan, Dar al-Salam, Masjid Quba. Forgive me if I'm missing out 1 or 2 more. But these masajid have come together and they've made an initiative to raise this money and send it into the hands of trustworthy people. Not these charities that are dodgy. These charities, wallahi, brothers and sisters, you're going to give money to these charities. I don't want to mention names right now, but you're going to give money to majority of these charities, and you know what they're going to do? They're going to take your money. Wallahi, they're going to spend 60% of it giving it to wages to their colleagues, and a very small amount is actually going to go to the people who really need. But right here, brothers and sisters, these brothers are trusted, and all of the money, 100%, inshallah, is going to go to those who are going to distribute it fairly, correctly, and honestly. So please go now to the link below and give as generously as you can. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.